皆さんおはようございます。ステイトオブプレイ日本をご覧いただきありがとうございます。本日 MC を務めます梶裕貴です。今回はステイトオブプレイの特別編として日本やアジア初のゲームにスポットを当ててお届けします。大人気シリーズの最新作から個性豊かなインディータイトルまで最新情報をたっぷりご紹介します。ドラゴンクエスト7リイマジンドからスタートです。
Alright, Dragon Quest 7. I'm doing this a day late, I know. This happened yesterday.
We made a promise to solve the world's mysteries, didn't we?
I know I'd regret missing out on the fun far more than any bother we might get ourselves into.
But the thing about
I haven't thought about it really.
the Japan State of Play is most of the games that are in here, well, not most of them, but more of the ones in here are ones that are most likely going to be covered on this channel next year, depending on when these come out.
Doth he yet rule over this realm?
Dragon Quest 7, I'm not really a big fan of Dragon Quest, but I might actually play it. I might play this game next year.
This is the stuff! You and me battling side by side again. Flame Splitter! There's no time to waste. Here's to one last adventure.
February 5th. Okay. Let me put that down here. February 5th, Dragon Quest 7.
このドールルックと呼ばれるグラフィック素敵ですね。そして再構築されたシナリオには大人になったキーファがどのような物語が待ち受けているのかお楽しみに。さて続いてはちょっと穏やかな気持ちになれる2作品から発売時期の発表です。インコンビニワンストアメニーストーリーズはささやかな日常を描く心温まる物語。プレイヤーは小さな町のコンビニ店員となり棚に商品を並べたり顔なじみのお客さんと交流したりしながら
This reminds me of those games that we've already seen people come out, like the PC build simulator video, PC repair simulator, the card shop simulator. This sounds like that type of game.
ワンストアメニーストーリーズは2026年4月発売です。
So that one's April
コーヒ
next
ートー
year.
ク東京は東京の小さなカフェを舞台にしたノベルアドベンチャーゲーム。プレイヤーはバリスタとなり心温まる一杯を入れてお客様の声に耳を傾けます。人間はもちろん雪女やカッパなど日本の妖怪の末裔たちもカフェを訪れ悩みや喜びを語り合います。コーヒートーク東京は2026年3月5日発売です。
Coffee Talk Tokyo looks like it could be a Switch
続い
game.
てのゲームはおや急に静かになった気がしませんか。なんだか寒気も。さまざまな社会問題に切り込む人気ホラーシリーズブロークンロアから2作品が登場。1作目はブロークンロアアンフォロー。 SNS の暗い影に焦点を当てた一人称視点のホラーゲーム。見知らぬ不気味な家で目覚めたアン。脱出するため過去のトラウマや亡霊たちに追い詰められながらスマートフォンを駆使して出口を探していきます。ブロークンロアアンフォローは2026年1月16日発売です。
January 16th for that one.
さらに本日はシリーズ最新作ブロークンロアアセンドを初公開。シリーズおなじみの一人称視点のサバイバルホラーにクライミング要素が加わりました。前作ドントウォッチに引き続き東京が舞台の今作、主人公のレンとユイは動画配信サイトでの名声を求め危険を顧みずに東京タワーに挑みます。そこで2人を待ち受けるのは 妖怪66尾ブロークンロアアセンドは2026年夏発売予定です。
Summer next year, Broken Lore Ascend, and Broken Lore Unfollow is gonna be January. Oh yes.
This is Minakami Village. A ritual so forbidden that speaking of it is taboo. And a place that must never be seen. If I could capture it with a camera obscura.
Hurry, leave the village. If you can get out of the village.
Oh, they actually, some of the gameplay elements look different. There's no more third-person camera. It's not a fixed camera. It's like behind the shoulder, like all modern games. There's Broken Neck Woman. There's a Woman in a Box, and there's Falling Woman.
The festival failed. It's all because we ran away. Mayu, we'll be together.
The outfits are also different.
Fatal Frame 2, Crimson Butterfly remake.
Yeah, this one's gonna be good. This is gonna be the best horror game of next year,
Shall we
even though it's a remake.
begin?
March 12. Okay, that is
本
a
日は光栄テクノ
that
ゲ
is
ー
a
ムス
day
より
one
ゼロ
purchase.
赤い蝶リメイクディレクターの柴田さんにお越しいただきました。柴田さん、よろしくお願いいたします。
はい、よろしくお願いします。
2003年に発売されたゼロ赤い蝶が今回待望のリメイクということなんですけれども、トレーラーを拝見して恐ろしさがさらにパワーアップしていたように感じるんですが、そちら何か秘密はあるんでしょうか。
はい、ありがとうございます。まあ、光と影ですね。まあ、ホラーにとって重要なところについてはすごくこだわってライティングして、見えるところと見えないところのバランスを追求しています。またそのキャラクターの肌の質感、透明感とか、まあ、服のこの物の感じですよね、もうリアルに表現しました。チーム忍者のアクションディレクターも参加していますので、バトルも楽しんでいただきたいです。幽霊がだんだん怖いものが近づいてくるのをじっくり見ながらギリギリで撮影するっていう、まあ、怖さ、まあ、ゲームシステムのいいところはまあ踏襲しながら、実際のカメラのような、まあ、ズームだったりピントあったりという新しい要素を追加しま
Yeah,
す。
this one's good. I highly
また
recommend this
フィルター
one.
まあ、カメラのフィルターがあると思うんですけど、それを切り替えると、まあ、見え方が変わっていってですね、音量に対してさまざまな効果があります。まあ、その戦闘でも探索でも特徴的な効果がありますので、まあ、状況に応じて切り替えながら使って、ゲームを進めていきます。
早くプレイしたいです。さあ、
Yeah, man,
本
me
日
too.
は発売日
Yeah,
の
me too.
解禁という嬉しいニュースがありましたが、他にも新情報をご用意いただいたん
Will I
ですね。
buy the new Steam console?
実はデジタルデラックス
I
エ
don't
ディシ
know
ョン
yet.
の
Probably
発売が
not
決定しました。
though. I think it's possible to make a
デジタルアート
Steam
ブックや
a Steam
特別な衣装が
PC
加えており、
yourself though.
本日初披露となります。
The Steam box was a thing years ago.
予約特典も各種ご用意しておりますので、皆さんぜひチェックしてみてください。
いや、発売が待ち
I
遠
like
しい
that
で
they
す
have
ね。
a lot of the people
柴田
that
さん、本日はお忙しい
worked on the
中あり
original
がとうござい
game
まし
still
た。
working on this series.
ゼロ赤い蝶リメイクは2026年3月12日発売予定です。
That's gonna be one of Koei Tecmo's big titles for next year.
そして光栄テクモゲームスからもう一つ発表があります。こちらの映像をご覧ください。
It was during what I believed would be my final battle that you appeared before me.
Wasn't this game? Oh, is this like the expansion? Because this was this year, back in January. Year's almost over, and it's like, wow, this was January.
Fellow sons of the Yellow Earth, fly by my side.
The problem is the yellow turban thing. I can only handle the yellow turban invasion so many times. Vision of Four Heroes. January next year. This is one that I'm probably not gonna get. I think the Switch 2 is getting this next year too. But yeah, I don't think I'm getting the new Steam console. I have to look into it. I haven't even looked at it yet.
グランツーリスモシリーズの生みの親山内和則さんからグランツーリスモ7の大型アップデートスペック3が年末に配信されると発表がありました。本日は山内さんから追加のお知らせが届いています。
I haven't played Gran Turismo since like Gran Turismo 7 or 6. Was it 6 or 5? No, it's whatever the PS3 one was. There was Gran Turismo Prologue, and then there was, I think it was Gran Turismo
シリーズプロデューサー山内
6?
和則です。間もなくグランツーリスモ1億本突破を記念したスペック3がリリースされますけれども、それに加えてもう一つニュースがあります。その名もですね、グランツーリスモ7パワーパックです。でパワーパックとは何かというとですね、これまでのグランツーリスモ7、グランツーリスモシリーズが、言ってみればレースゲームだったわけですけれども、
Yeah, it must be Gran Turismo 5. It was whatever the PS3 one was that took forever. It was there was prologue for a long time, and then the game. I think that was the last one I
本
played.
当にハードコアなリアルなレースの世界っていうものを、一度はグランツーリスモでやってみたかったので、今回パワーパックを作りました。パワーパックも、スペック3と同時に、この年末にリリースされます。であともう一つは12月の20日ですね、福岡でグランツーリスモワールドシリーズの最終戦ワールドファイナルが行われます。その会場でも、皆さんにお会いできることを今から楽しみにしています。ありがとうございました。
山内和則さんありがとうございました。グランツーリスモ7パワーパックでのリアルレーシングにご期待ください。さあどんどん参りましょう。記録と再生で道を切り開く新感覚レコードパズルアクションモーションレック。移動する、ジャンプする、そして動きの軌跡を記録して再生する。一見進めそうにない道も記録した動きを別の場所で再生すれば必ず突破できる。多彩なギミックを駆使して荒廃したステージを探索し、機械に支配された世界の謎を解き明かしましょう。
I don't know about this one. This is a good platforming game, but I'm probably not gonna play it. So far, I've seen 2 games. Oh, Wandering Sword. Wait, this isn't this on Switch?
で描かれる古代の中国を舞台にしたオープンワールド RPG。主人公は英雄を夢見て旅に出ます。
これこそが俺が歩むべき道だ。
プレイヤーの選択によって変わる20種類のエンディング、戦略もアクションも楽しめる2種類の戦闘モード、そして新たに日本人キャストによる日本語フルボイスを実装。
あなたと共にあるならこの命惜しくはございません。
2026年5月28日。
This one's like, okay, this is Q2 of next year, May 28th. So that one's the furthest one out so far.
シリーズ最新作伊達要は眠らないフロムアイソムニウムファイルがプレイステーション5とプレイステーション4に登場。特殊捜査官伊達要と彼の左目に埋め込まれた AI 相棒がさらわれたネットアイドルイリスの行方を追います。調査を進める捜査パート、真相心理を探るソムニウムパート。
This is made by the same people that make
3つのパートを行き交い事件の真相に迫ります。
This is either made by the people that do the Persona game. No, this is made by the people that do. Is this Falcom? I forget. I think it's Tokyo Xanadu is Falcom. So this is February 26th.
あの伝説のゲームが20年ぶりにプレイステーションに帰ってきます。日本ゲーム大賞2025優秀賞も受賞した首都高バトルがついに復活。首都環状を舞台にカスタムした自分だけのマシンで400人以上のライバルと戦い、新時代の頂点を目指せ。シリーズ独自の SP バトルはドライバーの精神力を数値化したスピリットポイントを削り合う戦い。速さも重要ですがライバルとの心理戦こそが勝負を決める鍵となります。首都高バトルは 2026年2月26日
Tokyo Extreme Racer is coming out February 26th also. Wait, Somnium Files and Extreme Racer?
パズル、RPG、推理アドベンチャー、そしてレー
Just
スゲー
filling
ムま
out
で
the
バリエーションが豊か
calendar.
でしたね。さて、ここからはバンダイナムコエンターテインメントから DLC のお知らせです。塊魂シリーズ最新作「ワンスアポンは塊魂」に2つの新 DLC が登場。第1弾「塊魂ダンスダンスリミックスパック」、第2弾「塊魂ネオリミックスパック」。5つの新しいリミックス BGM と10個の衣装アイテムをそれぞれ収録。各 DLC 配信時に特別な衣装アイテムを全員にプレゼント。
Katamari is another franchise. I feel like this is good on like mobile platforms, more so than on the big console.
ソニック・ザ・ヘッジホッグがパックマンワールド2リパックに登場します。ソニックならではのスピード感が味わえる新ステージに加え、おなじみのギミックやキャラクターも登場します。さらにボス戦ではドクターエッグマンとの戦いが待ち受けます。
This is the Namco game. This is the Pac-Man
リ
one.
パックソニック・ザ・ヘッジホッグコラボレーションコンテンツはプレイステーション5とプレイステーション4で本日から配信開始。
See, man, PlayStation 4 is still getting games in this
プ
market.
レイステーション5で発売されたデジモンストーリータイムストレンジャー。
Oh yeah, this Digimon, the Digimon game that came out like a month or two ago is getting the DLC.
新たに追加される個性豊かな
This is another game that I kind of wanted to play, but I just didn't have the time. I just didn't have the time to devote to it, so I kind of skipped it. This and also Pokemon Za. Pokemon Za and this Digimon game, both.
この冬配信です。
I wanted to play both games, but I just didn't get around to
今
it.
年8月に発売されたス
Is
ー
the
パーロボ
Steam
ット
Deck
対
worth
戦
it?
から DLC が登場し
I
ます。
mean, that's something that you have to decide.
ザ・ビッグオー
If you like playing games mobile in handheld, then it probably is. Especially if you have a big Steam library.
スーパーロボット対戦 Y DLC1 は11月21日配信です。
That's coming out pretty soon. That's November. That's literally this month. That's like in a week or two. The DLC. Long time.
全国のハンターの皆さんに
Oh, wait, what? Here it is. Wait, we already know this, but they're announcing it just because? Oh, man, December 16th?
アップデートでは巨撃竜ゴグマジオスが登場予定です。
Gogmazios.
エンドコンテンツの拡充や季節イベント交わりの祭事も予定しています。
Gotta put this on the
12月16
calendar.
日から一狩り
Title update for Gogmazios. Oh man, that's only in like 3?
続いて
No.
はソニックレーシングクロスワールド
5
からのア
weeks.
ップデート情報です。
5 weeks in title update 4. The Sonic Racing game, this is another one, man. Like, these are games that were coming out. This game, the Digimon game, and the Pokemon game. All three of them launched, I think, within the last 90 days. And I didn't get around to either. Didn't play Cross Worlds, didn't play Pokemon, didn't play Digimon.
クロスワールド DLC スポンジボブパックは11月20日に配信です。続いてご紹介するのはアクションアドベンチャーネバーグレイブザ・ウィッチ&ザ
This reminds me of Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight's another game that I didn't get around to playing. Yeah, second half for some reason. It's not showing anything on my end.
ネバーグレイブザ・ウィッチ&ザ・カース開発責任者 酒井康臣さんにお越しいただきました。酒井さん、よろしくお願いします。
よろしくお願いします。
酒井さん、トレーラーではゴーレムのような敵と戦っていたシーンがとても印象的だったんですけど、そのボス戦の魅力、そして他にどんなボスが登場するのか教えていただけますか？
はい。レーザー攻撃を繰り出していた巨大なゴーレムは最初のダンジョン遺跡のボスです。本作のボスはそれぞれ独自の攻撃パターンや特殊なギミックを持っていて、一筋縄ではいかないようになっています。例えば植物のボスは風を使ったり、ドラゴンのボスは溶岩を使ったり、マリオネットのボスはプレイヤーが使う魔法と似た魔法を使います。ボスによっては特定の敵への憑依が攻略の鍵になることもあります。またローグライクの要素によってダンジョン内のプレイヤー強化も毎回異なるため、ボスに繰り返し挑戦しても新鮮な緊張感を味わえると思います。
酒井さん、スタジオにお越しくださりありがとうございました。
お前が今いるこの場所は世界で唯一 DBS を搭載した実験室だ。
Oh, this looks like not Guilty Gear, the other one, Blaze Blue. This is Blaze Blue. I knew it was Arc System. I knew it was Arc System because the announcer woman is the voice of Arc System Works. Yeah, okay. It's oh, okay. It's Blaze Blue characters in a side scroller.
つまり可能性のかけらとは無数に分岐する僕たちの未来の一部ということかい？
世界を救うためにはもっと情報が必要だ。
君はドクターメルクリウスが何か隠していると思ってます？
たとえアバターとリンクしていてもデータで構成された空間の中でお前は異物だ。
Have you ever played Zone of the Enders? I have not. I have heard of it though.
可能性のかけらを一つ手に入れました。全ては可能性だ。
ガセ、やめてください。黒な獣？
サルベージだ。そうだろう。
私たちが解析しているあの記憶の正体、一体何
February 12 for that one.
ブレイブルーエントロピーエフェクト X は完全新作ストーリー、そしてシリーズ過去作から直人黒金が参戦します。
Man, February is packed. There's so many games listed.
続いて冒険心をくすぐるラインナップを一挙にご紹
Right
介。
now, February looks like it is the most packed game or month for games right now.
心温まる冒険活劇、
At least from the Japan developers, or the games that they're showing here.
新感覚のアクション RPG、 アイテムを集めレベルを上げて新たなスキルを習得し、
No, these are worldwide. Well, most of them should be
バラエ
worldwide.
ティ豊かな敵やギミックがいっぱい。マシンガンやショットガンなど展開の武器を使って攻撃しましょう。魔王が赤ん坊を背負いながら戦い、その絆が深まっていく物語も
All the big titles definitely are. So, I mean, so far the Fatal Frame game, that's worldwide. Title Update 4 is worldwide. Dragon Quest 7. So the Dynasty Warriors thing. So I'm pretty sure this is all global.
ディスガイアシリーズのスタッフが手掛ける完全新作 3D アクション RPG。
So far, they've really shown mostly just like well-established studios. There was a couple of indie stuff earlier.
ドラゴンや妖艶なサキバスなど10魔の種類は全部で16種類。一緒に戦わせるのはもちろん。
See, this looks like a Disgaea game with Dynasty Warriors
全て
style.
の力を使いこなし、裏切り者から大切なプリンを取り戻しましょう。 狂乱魔カイズムは2026年。
There's that one Monster Hunter game that's turn-based, that RPG Monster Hunter game that's next year too. Monster Hunter Stories 3.
運命のトリガーはアンリアルエンジン5で開発された
Unreal Engine 5 game.
公開されているアウェイクナー10名に加え、新たに
Wait, hold on. This doesn't look like a Japanese game. This looks like a Chinese
その
game.
相棒ロボットビビが参戦します。分身を操り敵を翻弄するファリー、拠点を難攻不落の砦に変えていく奇才エンジニアのタタ。 それぞれの個性的な能力を駆使してライバルを打ち破りましょう。さらに行きましょ
う。What is the name of that? Irotori Dori? What? It doesn't have like a release date. It's just next year.
両員の声を担当しています。他にも魅力的なキャラクターが勢ぞろいしていますので、ぜひプレイしてみてくださいね。次はスクエアエニックスの大人気シリーズ最新作。
Oh, here comes the Square Enix one. Uh-oh, is it, what is it? Oh, it's Octopath. For a second I was like, wait a minute, is it gonna be Kingdom Hearts? It's Octopath. It's just Octopath. This, I'm watching the GameStop feed. Their feed has like weird audio artifacts occasionally. But theirs is the only one that I was able to find that doesn't require you to sign in to watch it. Sony's requires you to sign in.
You're finally awake.
If you can best me in battle, my technique shall be yours. Oh, scarlet flame, blaze bright and cleanse this sacred land. Here they come. Let me see you.
You like this, the new art styles for these RPGs? This is probably the most like modern looking of the sprite-based style.
All the riches of the world are mine. Why, I'll even give you this dirty little town you so love, to do with as you please.
Power and the fear it induces is the only thing that can control people.
You're a survivor of Wishvale. I will see you punished with my own two hands.
After losing the town, I finally understand what's truly important to me. Let's do our best to rebuild Wishvale.
Chrono Trigger needs a
It
remake.
used to be.
You said it. I'm ready when you are. Fame is nothing.
Oh, December 4th. That's the same day as Metroid Prime 4 Beyond.
体験版はゲーム冒頭3時間をプ
You
レイ
can
で
play
き
the
ます。
first 3 hours
体
of
験
the
版でプレイ
game.
した内容は本編発売時に引き継ぎが可能です。主人公のキャラクターメイクや序盤の
Yeah, but Star Ocean hasn't looked like that in a long time.
本日はアークシステム
Star Ocean 3, 4, and 5, and I think 6 is the latest one?
アートディレクターの黒坂さんに
Yeah,
お越し
6 is
い
the
ただきま
latest.
した。
3, 4, 5, and 6 don't look like that.
マーベル闘魂ファイティングソウルズはどんな思いを込めて制作されたのか、それからファンの皆さんにはどんな体験を味わってほしいと考えていらっしゃるのかお話しいただけますでしょうか。
はい、このタイトル日本から世界へというキーワードを掲げて開発してまして、マーベルってもともとやっぱり
That guy looks like he could be Harada's cousin.
巨大なコンテンツになっていると思うんですけれども、それをですね我々日本人がどのように受け止めて、解釈して再構築して。
Oh wait, what are they talking about? They're talking about Marvel? Is this Marvel versus Capcom?
出力していくかというところを非常に
Or is this just what is this?
掲げています。その新しいマーベル日米のカルチャーが融合したマーベルというのをファンの方にぜひ楽しんでいただきたい。
Is this all Marvel or is there Capcom stuff in here? It looks like it's all Marvel. Marvel Heroes?
はい、で今回ですね、プレイステーション5にて第2回目のクローズドベータを実施。
Oh, I remember this game. This is Marvel had that Chinese company develop Marvel Rivals, and then they had this Japanese developer. I think Arc System do the fighting game, the 2D
本日
fighter.
はですね、2回目となるクローズドベータテストのですね予告トレーラーを持ってきました。こちらをご覧ください。
親愛なる隣人スパイダーマンだ。さあ始めようぜ。地獄へのロードトリップだ。
Register now for PS5 closed beta. Yeah, I remember this game now. This is like all Marvel characters. It's the new Marvel 2D fighter. No more Marvel vs. Capcom? I wouldn't say that. This is what Marvel wanted them to do. They contracted them to develop this game, just like they contracted the, I forgot, was it whoever Neo is or Neobarts or whoever it was that did Marvel Rivals, the team-based shooter or the champion-based shooter or hero-based shooter.
Yeah, ワクワクさせられましたね。どんな展開になるのか期待です。トレーラーに映っていたのって X マンションのステージですよね。こちらは新しいステージなんでしょうか。
さすがよく気づきましたね。
そうですね。今回の X マンションステージ、いろいろな宝探しを楽しんでもらえるように、細かいネタだったり、ギミックだったりをいっぱい仕込んでますので、ぜひねプレイしてこちら見ていただけると。
Man, I've heard them use the word gimmick. The MC has overused the word gimmick in this live stream so much, and those guys now are using the word gimmick. I've heard them say the word gimmick so many times. He just said it referring to that X-Mansion stage.
ビジュアルやアニメーションをデザインする上でどんなチャレンジがありましたか。
はい。まずゴーストライダーを出すにあたってまずキャラクター、すぐにゴーストライダーがいるので、そのキャラクターを誰にするのかというところで、かなり悩みがありました。今回ですねロビー・レイヤー採用させていただいて。
You know, out of all the Marvel characters, Ghost Rider is the one that's the most weirdest one. Ghost Rider is the weirdest one because it's literally like it's a skull on fire the whole time. Like, look at that. But then it can become normal. It can just go back to normal.
なるほど。僕もマーベルファンの一人として、そして声優としてユニバースにも関わらせていただいているので、今作がどのように広がっていくのかとても楽しみです。それでは最後に世界中のファンの皆さんに向けてメッセージをお願いします。
このゲーム、皆さんのお力をもとにもっともっといいゲームにしていきたいと思っていますので、ぜひ第2回クローズドベータテストにもご参加いただきまして、皆さんが感じたこと、ご意見ご要望をですねいただければと思います。
日本のアニメとアメコミが融合したマーベルの独特のアート表現をぜひプレイして楽しんでください。
本日は素敵なお話を聞かせていただきまして本当にありがとうございました。
ありがとうございました。
Ghost Rider. I don't know. I just remember when Ghost Rider became popular again because they made that Nicolas Cage movie. Oh, what is going on here? What? Hold on. Whoa, 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 whoa. It can't be. How? I thought we were done. I thought we were done. It's back. What?
We must bring an end to it ourselves.
What?
Curse this Dreadlord.
How? So soon? What? They're already showing... Man, From Software, they can't calm down. They just keep cranking it out, man. Look at this. What? New... Whoa, whoa, whoa! New heroes.
The aftermath of the long night.
Wait, what? Wait, whoa, hold on. Was that? Wait, hold on. Oh no, hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Is that the dog? Wait, why is the dog like in the? Wait, you can encounter Night Lords in the field? Oh, I guess you can. Yeah, I guess you can because you can encounter Augur. Yeah. Oh, there's the lion thing from Shadow of the Erd Tree last year.
I suppose it must be fate to work again.
What? Artorias? Artorias is being added to the game. Oh wait, hold on a second. Wilder can already dress up. He can already cosplay as Artorias, and they're putting Artorias in as a boss. So now you're gonna have big Artorias fighting little Artorias? Oh, I can't believe this. The Forsaken Hollows. What? Oh, so soon? That's not even the end of the... That's not even next year. That's not even next year. Man, Octopath Traveler 0 and Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. This is the same day. I'm putting it down. This is an immediate purchase. Or I don't even know if I have to purchase this because I already have Deluxe Edition. So I think I get this for free. Night Rain, the Forsaken, Hollows. Oh man, this is like a guaranteed. I can't believe December 4th. December 4th is so soon. Alright, that was it. Alright, hold on. Go back. Yeah, that's right. It has been 5 years of PlayStation 5. This is the halfway point. This is the halfway point of PlayStation 5, yeah. I like how the CEO dressed up like a regular gamer. He isn't even dressed like a CEO right now. He's dressed like a gamer. It depends. If you bought Night Rain, this is a paid DLC. If you bought the deluxe edition of Night Rain, I think you get this for free. I'm pretty sure you get it for free.
PS5 をお買い上げいただくとすぐにアストロズプレイルームで体験いただけますが、キャラクターがステージを動き回る様がこれまでにない感覚でお楽しみいただけます。技術的にはアダプティブトリガー
I feel like this is the first time I've actually heard him speak Japanese. I mean, I obviously know he can speak Japanese, but I've always heard him speak English up until this.
あとハプティックフィードバック、そして内蔵スピーカーによって目で見る情報、耳から
It's like that one video of Kaz Hirai speaking English, or no, speaking Japanese, because it's like in all the public videos showcasing Kaz Hirai, he was always speaking English. And there's like one video of him actually speaking Japanese on camera. It's weird. It's kind of like in Beast Machines when Megatron would show his dragon form. You know what I'm saying? It's like that. It's some kind of rarity. It's like obviously he can do it, but it's like you never see it on camera. That was probably the most random comparison that I've ever done in a while. Kaz Hirai speaking Japanese. Like Megatron transforming into his dragon form in Beast Machines. Like what?
ファミリーアップを通じたスマホでの体験など、いつでもどこでもフレンドやコンテンツに簡単にアクセスできます。また、
Oh no, they wouldn't do that. They're not gonna be locked behind the depths. That's not their style.
数千の PS4 向けのゲームも遊ぶことができ、
So, hold on, I kind of want to go back and look at that again.
PS4 向けにしか発売されなかったゲームも遊べます。たくさんの方々に
Hold on. Let me go back to this. I can't believe it's coming out next month. The game released in May. Like at the end of May. And they're already doing the DLC. Because when Bloodborne came out, Bloodborne was March 2015 on PS4, and the Old Hunters DLC was, I have to go back and look whenever that was. It was either the end of that year or it was the following year. Yeah, they're both in December, but Night Rain's first. Night Rain, it comes before Title Update 4. And here I was thinking, man, Title Update 4 is free reign for December, but it's like, no, Night Rain is coming out. But Night Rain is the first part of the month. Title Update 4 is the second half of the month. Hold on, so the enemy in red was in Shadow of the Erd Tree. That's one of the tougher random enemies that you fight in Shadow of the Erd Tree. Okay, it looks like they added one of this whole place where they are, this cave is a completely new area. Well, Yeah, it looks like a new area because there are caves in the game now, but they're mining caves. There's nothing like with flowers and water like this. So this is an entirely new area. Wait, hold on, go back. These ruins, whatever this is, it's like some kind of new fortress type place. An underground new cave area. Whatever this place is, it's like some kind of, it's like she's in the city of the dwarves of the Mines of Moria.
We must bring an end to it ourselves.
Okay, this is random. Like, why are they showing Fulgur? Like, why are we seeing Fulgur right now? He isn't new. Like, what is this? and then whatever the dragon in it, Caligo, he's not new.
Curse this Dreadlord.
All right, this is all new. This looks like the underground city of Noxtella or Nokron in the base Elden Ring. So you can... Oh, that means that they're adding a new map. Like a completely new map. Because you're flying in. This is the start of the level. So this is like the start of the run. It looks like there's a church or cathedral thing down there. There's some kind... I don't know what that thing is. There's like a pit where that blue thing is sticking out of. This looks like one of the giants from Dark Souls 2 or Dark Souls 3. It's Dark Souls 3. And then there's, okay, the natural born Estelle or Astel is in here. Oh, that's a new playable character. Yeah, this is one of the new characters. She just did like a Captain Falcon forward A uppercut into that thing. And then this is another new playable character. You can tell that they have been like playing Final Fantasy XIV. I feel like all the developers of Elden Ring have been playing Final Fantasy XIV for the past 2 years. Because the boss fights in Night Rain are literally heavily inspired by Final Fantasy XIV Savage Raids. And the fact that this guy fights with a book, aka this is literally Summoner or Scholar or Arcanist from Final Fantasy XIV. This is straight up, like, they just took this from Final Fantasy XIV and threw it into their game. Which is totally fine, I'm okay. Oh, man. Whoa, he fights with a cane. He has the cane from Bloodborne. They refused to do the Bloodborne remake, but instead they're just slowly putting more and more things from that game in this game, in the modern game.
The aftermath of the long night.
There's the new character. The one talking is probably one of the new characters. So there's a new female character and there's a new male character. So she's standing there looking at that statue Ultra thing in the background over there on the left. Yeah, that's the watchdog thing. That's Tricephalos in his tri technique, split form technique. Why is he in the field though? There's Guardian doing his thing. He's fighting the lion from Shadow of the Erd Tree. It looks like that thing's being added. This is like a weird boss fight. I don't know how 3 people are gonna handle this. This is what, like 7 versus 3, like 7 bosses versus 3 humans. Like, okay, what could possibly go wrong? And then Artorias shows up at the end, and he just, oh man. You know what's weird? This looks like this might be the final boss from Dark Souls 3. Gale, or the final boss from Dark Souls 3. What I don't understand though, they're announcing DLC for December, and as far as I know, the final Night Lord in the base game doesn't even have a hard mode yet. Like, every boss except the final boss has a hard mode, an Everdark form. That guy doesn't, yet they're announcing DLC already? We're like, what? This was a shocker. This is the type of thing I was not expecting to see. And the fact that it actually showed up, when I first saw it, I was like, okay, this is going to be like next summer or whatever. No, December. The first week of December. Not even 2026. I can't believe that. Man, From Software has yet to disappoint. I don't think they've ever disappointed, man. Like, that's the one developer that has like a perfect record for the last 10 years. Like, they haven't done anything wrong in like 10 years. It's like the one game that they released within the last decade that didn't win Game of the Year was Armored Core 6. That game came out alongside Starfield. Like, and it didn't win. But that's because there was other stuff, like Baldur's Gate 3, for example. But, you know, like, Elden Ring came out, it was Game of the Year. Shadow of the Erdtree, Shadow of the Erdtree is a DLC. But Shadow of the Erdtree was actually nominated for Game of the Year, even despite being a DLC. This game, Night Rain, is going to get nominated for Game of the Year. I would not be surprised at all if it ends up on a Game of the Year candidate list. It might end up like Shadow of the Erdtree, where it won't win, because it is very niche, being a roguelike. And also the amount of people that played this is significantly less than the amount of people that played Elden Ring. Because there were a lot of people who didn't want to play Night Rain because they didn't want to play with other people. It wasn't their thing. They don't want to do roguelike style. But man, they're missing out. The game is so good. The what? Have they even shown the nominee? I don't think they've released any nomination list yet. I don't think that has started yet. So, okay, out of all the games that they showed, Dragon Quest, I might play this. I've never played a Dragon Quest game, but the Dragon Quest 7 remake looks really good, so I might play this. I mean, it depends on if it overlaps with stuff. Right now, it looks like it is February. February is the busiest month for games. So this is what I wrote down based off of all of this. So January, okay, December has, for me personally, nothing except Night Rain and Monster Hunter. Like, I'm probably not going to play Metroid Prime 4 or Octopath Traveler 0. Those were two that were also in that month. And then November, there's literally nothing. And then January, I have Trails Beyond the Horizon. And Dynasty Wars Origins, I'm not going to play it. I was disappointed with the one this past January. So, Trails Beyond the Horizon and Code Vein 2. I'm surprised that this State of Play didn't show Code Vein 2, although they showed it in the global one a few weeks ago. So, Trails and Code Vein 2, that's January. Code Vein 2 is at the very end of January, January 29th. Then we have February. February has Deus Ex Remastered, although I'm probably not going to play it. Dragon Quest VII, reimagined this game. I might actually play it. The problem for Dragon Quest is there's a game that I am guaranteed to play, which comes out the exact same day, and that game is Neo 3. So Neo 3 will have priority, which means Dragon Quest, I don't know if I'll play it on release day, if I play it at all. So Neo 3 is February 5th, so is Dragon Quest 7. And then we have, I wrote down that Blaze Blue Entropy game. That's the 12th. I'm probably not going to play it. It's that side scroller. They showed it in here. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Was it this one? No. It was this one. So this game. Yeah, this game comes out on the 12th. It's a side scroller based off of that fighting game franchise. I don't think I'm gonna play this. It's right between Neo 3 and Fatal Frame. Or no, not Fatal Frame. Fatal Frame is March. So why do I have that there? Oh, that was my placeholder. Fatal Frame is in March. So, okay, so February, we will be streaming Neo 3, and Crimson Desert is listed here, but I don't know if I'm going to play that. Resident Evil Requiem is February 27th. So I will be streaming Neo 3 and Resident Evil Resident Evil is the very end of February, though, so it's kind of March. And then Somnium Files is February 26th. I might do that one, and I might do Dragon Quest 7. All I'm saying is, like, I've written down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games. I've written down 8 games for February, and of those 8 games, there's one of them that I will 100%, well, there's 2 of them that I will 100% play, Neo 3 and Resident Evil. The rest of them are kind of like maybe, but not guaranteed. And then March is Fatal Frame 2, which they showed, which I've been waiting for this for like a long time. So I will definitely be playing that. Yeah, this game. This is like a day one. I'm getting the deluxe edition like instantaneously. So this I've been waiting for this game for like, I don't know, 10 years or whatever. So if you guys think Resident Evil scary, you guys don't know what a scary game is. This game makes Resident Evil look like it's for kindergartners in terms of scare factor. Although, to be honest, because the graphics look so good, the ghosts actually don't look as scary as they do in the original PlayStation 2 version from 2003. Let me go. Let's look at some of the ghosts. Hold on. Let's get to the ghosts. Hold on. Let's go to the ghosts. Yeah. Let's see. Let's go see some famous ones. All right. There's Sickle, Torch, and I forgot the other person's name. This is the random ghost. These are like the weak ghosts. These are the easy ones. There she is. There's Broken Neck Woman. She's one of the most famous or infamous ghosts in the game. Yeah. That's Broken Neck Woman. So she still looks creepy, but I don't know, man. We'll see. The new graphics are making these ghosts not look as scary. Like, she doesn't look like, okay, there was Woman in a Box. I want to freeze that frame on Woman in a Box. Okay, Woman in a Box, she doesn't even look scary in this. The graphics look too good. Like, when the graphics were kind of fuzzy and low res and stuff, it left more to the imagination, so the ghost actually seems scarier in the PlayStation 2 version. Are you talking about Grammys? Oh, it'll probably get nominated for the Game Awards, though. For soundtrack. But see, this is Woman in a Box. She's basically like, they took Sadako from the Ring series, for those that know about the Ringu, the Ju-on franchise. You know, classic Japanese horror. Basically, the girl who gets out of the well and comes through the TV. The curse, you know, this is that character. She's in the game. FYI, spoiler alert. So if you don't like the Ring series, you're probably going to find this game very hard to play. Yeah. She doesn't actually, looking at her now, you know, like, she doesn't look that scary to me, compared to the way she looked in the original game. So, there's Falling Woman. She falls from, like, the 3rd floor on a building, and her body literally, like, breaks she breaks her neck and a bunch of joints and whatever, so she, like, limps around on the floor like a spider. It's weird. There was Kurosawa.
The festival failed. It's all...
Regardless, though, this game is still probably going to be the best. This is going to beat Resident Evil Requiem in terms of scare factor, unless Resident Evil Requiem is sandbagging and holding back, but I highly doubt it. Although they are trying to go for, like, the more weaker, helpless character that is more fragile, and just to kind of amp up the fear factor and the dread feeling in these type of games.
Forever.
But yeah, this is guaranteed. Like, this is March 12th. I said it was going to be March or February. I literally had it written down for February 19th without knowing the actual day, and now I know that it's March 12th. This is a guaranteed day one.
Crimson Butterfly.
This is probably going to be the next game that I try to get the Platinum Trophy for. And I don't normally bother with Platinums.
Shall we begin?
This is one of those single-player type games, though, that's you can get platinum on it without too much trouble. It's really going to be mission mode that's going to be hard to do. Yeah, that one I knew about, though. The Night Rain thing really threw me off. Like, that was what? So really, it's, to be honest, in here, what they showed, most of this stuff, unless I decide to play Octopath Traveler, there's not a whole lot in here that I'm actually interested in. There's a couple of stuff. There's like the Dragon Quest game. I might try it. Yeah, Dragon Quest. Not gonna play Dynasty Warriors again. Gran Turismo. I haven't played Gran Turismo since the PS3 days. So the AI Somnium Files, whatever follow-up game. I don't know. That looks interesting. Otherwise, that's pretty much it. I don't know. And then for the Western games, GTA got delayed again. So, yeah. I mean, that's like what, November? That's like a year from now, isn't it? So there's really nothing. Like, the one game that everyone keeps telling me about is coming out this Friday. So I might stream a new game this Friday. It really kind of depends. Let me see. Is this it? I don't know. Oh yeah, maybe it's this one. Oh, what happened? Oh, because I changed from that window. So this is a game that's coming out Friday. I might play it.
Hey everyone, welcome to our global launch preview. As an open world action game, you'll step into an epic world that's so much more than just kung fu battles. It is completely different from any open world game we've seen before. The Jianghu is woven with rich histories, captivating tales, and diverse.
Is anyone gonna play this? Anyone watching this gonna play
your own
this?
stories in this
I mean,
world.
it's free to play, so I might just try
has a rich
it.
variety of combat modes, and they are all rooted in traditional fighting styles. That includes 7 different weapons, 12 unique martial arts, and 23 different mystic arts. No matter what type of wanderer you want to be, the Jianghu is bound to have a fighting style that suits you. We've teamed up with the renowned martial arts director, Stephen Tung Wai, and we've incorporated a variety of motion capture footage to recreate authentic martial arts moves. The Jianghu is a living, breathing world where you'll see day fade into night and encounter the full gamut of weather conditions. Experience the magic of
I mean, it's free to
WWM's
play, so
smart
it's really...
NPC system.
So for those that don't know what this is Where Winds Meet. This is a Chinese-developed game that it's kind of like an open-world action game mixed with MMO aspects to it. So, but it's not a... My understanding is it's not like a World of Warcraft style game, in the sense that when you connect to the server, you're not in a giant open world on a server where there's like you and a bunch of other players constantly like right on the screen together. So it's not that type of game as far as I understand it, but it has multiplayer functionality, so you can group up with other players. I don't know if it's like fully instance-based multiplayer, like a dungeon crawler or like a Monster Hunter style experience where you group up with like 3 or 4 other players and you do combat-based missions or whatever, like kind of like Monster Hunter in that regard. I don't know if it's that thing. I know that there's multiplayer, and I know that there's also PvP, and what I don't know though is if there's like a persistent world where you can interact with other players in the world at all times. I don't know if it is like that. I've heard mixed things about it. I've heard like you can connect to a server and then it's just like a World of Warcraft or a Final Fantasy 14, or it's more like Genshin Impact where it's your world. There's a single player campaign that you can play through and you can group up with other players as you see fit, which is very much like Genshin Impact. So it could be more that style, which I would not be surprised if that's what it ends up being. But it's fully free to play. It's not a pay to win game in the sense that There's no like, oh, spend real money and you can get like a whole bunch of like super powerful upgrades. They may introduce that later on, but as far as I understand it, like that's not a thing in this game. The way they make money is simply through selling cosmetics. It's all like cosmetics, like loot box style stuff. So if you can literally play the whole game free to play, no problem. You're not gonna like fall behind other players, or if you don't pay money for cosmetic upgrade things or whatever. So basically, like they're selling outfits and things, and I guess weapon skins, maybe glamours. That's kind of how they're gonna make money. It's not a gacha game. It's not like that. So it could be an interesting game. From what I've heard from listening to like other people who cover MMO games as kind of their main thing, this is one of their, if not the most anticipated MMO or MMO-like game that's launching this year. So I will most likely be streaming this weekend, for those wondering, just to check it out, just to see what this is all about. Because we're in a period right now where there's nothing like game-wise that's really got my attention, you know what I mean? Like the Dreamspell Festival in Monster Hunter is over now, so I'm not logging into Monster Hunter every single day now because the festival's over. So I won't start playing Monster. I mean, I'm still doing the weeklies for Monster Hunter, but I'm not logging in every single day now because there's no festival. There's less incentive to do that. So that kind of opens the door for me to spend time on other games that would have that time would have been spent on Monster Hunter. So I might try this game out. I think anyone who's interested in action combat, like anyone who has played Monster Hunter, can at least check this out and see what they think of it, because the gameplay loop is kind of like Monster Hunter, maybe not exactly the same, but it's similar. And then yeah, so we've got what, 1, 2, 3 weeks. There's 3 weeks until the Night Rain, the Forsaken Hollows DLC. So I've got like 3 weeks where there's not a lot of games to play, like, you know, so otherwise December is basically going to be more Elden Ring Night Rain, which I'm sure everybody likes to see, and then Monster Hunter title update for Gagmazios. That'll be in the second half of the month, so that'll go through the holiday season, through New Year's, into January, because the festival, the winter festival, will be in January of next year. So most of it will be. So that kind of sums up that. And then the only game that I mean, there's 2 games, but for January, the first half of January, there's nothing for me. So it'll be Trails Beyond the Horizon. That's January 15th. And for those of you who tuned in to my Trails in the Sky mini series, I basically streamed my entire playthrough of that game minus the prologue, which was a free demo. I might do the same thing for Trails Beyond the Horizon. I don't know yet. I kind of have like 2 weeks to play Trails Beyond the Horizon before Code Vein 2. Once Code Vein 2 comes out, Code Vein 2 will take priority over Trails Beyond the Horizon, and then I will literally just play Code Vein 2 until Neo 3, which is 1 week. So I don't have a lot of time to play Code Vein 2. That's a game that I may unfortunately end up rushing through. And then Neo 3 I'll probably play Neo 3 through February. And then Resident Evil comes out at the very end of February, so I'll be playing Resident Evil for the first part of March, and then I'll be playing Fatal Frame 2, the Crimson Butterfly remake, the second half of March. Now, Scott had asked me about Stories 3. I'm probably going to get Stories 3. I don't know what platform I'm going to get Stories 3 for. I've seen gameplay of it. It looks pretty good. It's interesting because Rathlos is a party member and it's a turn-based style game. So I might actually try that out because that looks like a good game to play on the Switch 2 in particular. Just because it's turn-based. I feel like turn-based games are very good on mobile platforms these days, provided they're not super hard to run, like Expedition 33. Expedition 33 uses UE5, and that would be very hard to run on the Switch 2. But yeah, Monster Hunter Stories 3, Twisted Reflection, that comes out literally the same time as Fatal Frame. So unfortunately for Monster Hunter Stories 3, Fatal Frame has priority, which means that's the one that I'm going to stream. If they both come out on the same day, I will choose Fatal Frame over Stories 3. But that being said, Fatal Frame, that's kind of like you play through it and then you're kind of done unless you want to platinum the game or play on a higher difficulty level. So once I'm done playing through it, which it's a horror game, so it's not a super long game like an RPG or any kind of live service game. So most likely I will cover Monster Hunter Stories 3 after Fatal Frame, and then that's as far as it goes for what I'm tracking for next year. Like, I'm looking at my calendar. I have nothing written down in April, nothing in May, nothing in June. The rest of the year, nothing. So I'm sure obviously that'll get filled out as more games come in. The main games that I am waiting for that I don't know the release date are Onimusha from Capcom, and then Pragmata. Those are the two Capcom games that I don't have release dates for, which once I know the release dates, I will most likely be streaming those games once they come out. And then I'm looking through here. Yeah, and that's pretty much it for next year. GTA 6 got delayed again to November next year. So that one, unless Lords of the Fallen 2 comes out in Q3 or something, I mean, I'll be playing that. So, and then obviously Duskbloods is coming out for Switch 2. That'll be like the Switch 2 exclusive game that I play next year. So kind of like we did Donkey Kong Bonanza this year. So that's what to look forward to if you guys are interested in any of those games. Oh, and there was I think Falcom posted, they had their earnings call or something, or there was something that Falcom shared some info on their games and the strategy for the next couple of years. They revealed that Trails in the Sky second chapter is slated for release next year, which is great because I was thinking when I finished Trails in the Sky back in September, I was like, man, I really hope I don't have to wait like 3 years or whatever for the next game. But it looks like it's coming out next year, which is great. So that's one that I will definitely play. Just like we played the whole thing on stream, I will do the same thing for second chapter. That is a guaranteed game that I will play. That's a mandatory game for me to play. But anyway, guys, that was probably it. I mean, my impressions of the Japan State of Play for Sony PlayStation was okay. It's kind of like what I expected to see. There was really only like 3 or 4 games in here that I will play. For State of Play, I don't know why I'm searching through the Where Winds Meet trailer for that, but yeah. Anyway, that's gonna be it. You're gonna work on Night Rain to learn to play much better. To join you guys. I mean, you don't even have to train or anything. Like, you can just join us regardless. It doesn't really matter. Just stay with the group. With the thing that my advice for people playing Night Rain, just stick with your group. Don't wander off. Don't go off and do your own thing. Like, you stay together, you fight together, you win as a team. No one's gonna enjoy playing with someone who just kind of runs off. I'm not saying you do that. I'm just saying my experience playing Night Rain as someone who has completed all of the content except like depth level 3 and above on post-game stuff. Stick together as a team. Work with your teammates. You might need to buy it. You might need to buy what? Night Rain? We'll be playing Night Rain next month. First half of December is Night Rain. Second half is Monster Hunter. I'm convinced that's pretty much it. I'm going to handle it the same way I handled Trails in the Sky and Title Update 3. Because that's exactly what I did. Title Update 3 was the last week. It started the last week of September. It was September 29th was Omega. And then the Fall Festival was like a few weeks. It was like two or 2.5 weeks or so after that. And I remember I was like, okay, I have like 2 weeks, or no, it wasn't even 2 weeks. I told myself, I was like, I have a week to finish Trails in the Sky. And I did it. And the thing is, Silent Hill F launched during that time, like within that time frame. Silent Hill F launched. There was one game in there. There was like 2 games. I'm looking at my calendar now. Yeah, so I have Intel Arc Pro B50 for some reason was listed. There was 2 games I didn't get a chance to play because it was just too hectic. There was the Omega stuff and Trails in the Sky. The two games were Atelier Resleriana, whatever, the Red Alchemist and the White Guardian. So that game was one that I was supposed to cover, but I didn't get a chance to. The other one was Sonic Racing Crossworlds. I didn't cover either one of those games. Oh, there was a third game, but Omega took all my attention. Final Fantasy Tactics, the Ivalice Chronicles. I planned to play that on Switch too, and I never got around to it. And then Ghost of Yotei, which I did. I think I streamed Ghost of Yotei like one time. Like one time. I never touched the game after that. So I feel kind of bad about that because that is one of the better games that came out this year. So yeah. September was jam-packed though, looking at my calendar. October and September. Battlefield 6 was October. Digimon Storytime Stranger was October. Ghost of Yotei. Pokemon Legends Z through A on Switch 2. Ninja Gaiden 4. Final Fantasy Tactics Ivalice. Title Update 3 Monster Hunter. I mean, yeah, October was jam-packed. Tales of Exilia Remaster. That's another one that I didn't get to cover. Yeah, now it's weird because like October had like a dozen games or something, and then November has like nothing. Like nothing. There's literally nothing written down for November. I have not pre-ordered it yet. I haven't pre-ordered any game that's launching next year. If anything, the one game that I'll probably pre-order early is the Fatal Frame game, but that's not even coming out till March, so there's no reason to. Resident Evil 9. It's on my wish list. So like if I go back here, my wish list right now is Code Vein 2, Legend of Heroes Trails Beyond the Horizon, Onimusha Way of the Sword, Resident Evil Requiem, Pragmata, Stories 3, Twisted Reflection, Fatal Frame 2, Crimson Butterfly Remake, and Neo 3. All those games are next year. That's my wish list for PC. That's PC wish list. PlayStation, I have no wish list right now. It's like empty. There was 2 games on the list. Death Stranding 2 and Ghost of Yotei. And I already got both of them. And then Switch 2, there's nothing. I mean, there might be maybe that Metroid Prime game. I gotta go back and look. I'll be honest, guys, I have not turned on my Switch 2 in a while. It's been like a good 3 or 4 weeks since I last powered on the Switch 2. So I need to go back and look. Supposedly there's a good Nintendo sale going on right now for November. So I might need to look and see if there's stuff that's discounted so I can pick it up cheap on the e-store. I mean, it's digital only, but most of my entire Nintendo collection from Switch and Switch 2 are just digital. I don't have any of the physical games. I have very few physical games for Switch. And I have like no physical games on PlayStation. I might have like 1 or 2 collector's editions of something for PlayStation 5 that I ended up buying the Steam version on PC anyway. I mean, there are some games that I actually have purchased twice. Like, so this whole thing about we might talk about this on Tech Thursdays tomorrow, but there is this rumor going around that Sony is going to start allowing you to buy a game like multi-platform right to use. So meaning if you buy the game from PlayStation, you also get the PC version of the same game. Man, that helps people like me. Because some of the games, I want to have them on both platforms for whatever reason, whether it's because I want to do a side-by-side comparison or I want to do a video on like, oh, this is how Monster Hunter runs on PlayStation, this is how Monster Hunter runs on PC. Like Monster Hunter Wilds is a game that I have on both platforms. I have the PlayStation 5 version of Wilds and I have the Steam version of Wilds. And then Elden Ring Night Rain, I have it on both. So those are 2 games that I purchased twice. I purchased them for PlayStation and I purchased them for Steam. But I don't always do that. It's rare. I have to really, really like the game to do that. And you guys can tell based off of how much I've streamed both games that, yeah. Like, I'm looking at my playtime. Wilds, I have 420 hours in Monster Hunter Wilds right now. And I have 187 hours in Night Rain. Your top 3 this year? Monster Hunter Wilds, Pax Romana, and Wuchang. What's Pax Romana? What is that? See, I always break it into 5 or 6 because that's how the awards are done. So for me, it's Night Rain, Monster Hunter, Clair Obscure, Trails in the Sky, and the 5th game is Death Stranding 2. Those are my top 5. The only thing you want to see is the price of the new Steam controller. Oh yeah. Let me see. Let me pull that up real quick. Is that on here? Let me get out of this video. Oh, here it is. Oh, wait. Oh, because I had the video player maximized. That's why it did that. Valve unveils Steam Frame, Steam Machine, and new Steam controller, all coming early 2026. But if you wanted to, you could build your own Steam box. This used to be a thing called now they're calling it Steam Machine. It used to be called the Steam Box. Like a decade ago, if someone wanted to, they could build their own. It was a Linux-based PC, essentially. That's what it was. And that's literally what this is. So, yeah, that is really cool, though. It has touchpads. But, you know, the DualSense 4 and DualSense 5 already have the touchpad. This is a touchpad on the PlayStation controller. You can use it for typing. Steam is probably going to do the same thing, but the difference between Steam and Sony is Steam, I'm pretty sure this allows you to use both thumbs, so it's almost like texting on a phone, because you can use both, I would assume, or maybe one is well, no, I guess you could use, I don't know. The Sony one, from what I remember, it's really like one input, but you can use 2 thumbs to type on the Sony DualSense, but it's, you know, like it's kind of like using a touchpad on a laptop and you're trying to use 2 index fingers to type or to click on stuff. It's not as intuitive. Oh wait, it has a VR headset too? see, this style of VR headset is the better design. Like for a long time, there's the PlayStation VR style that became real popular for VR headsets. The original Oculus Rift, that one was probably the best style, and I think this and the Meta Quest are newer variants of that style of VR headset, so that's nice. Yeah, you know, I need to rebuild my VR PC. My VR PC has been out of commission for like half a year at this point. So for those of you that saw the episode of Tech Thursdays last week, that PC, was it that PC? Yeah, it was that PC. That was my VR PC. That was my VR PC with no GPU in it. And we actually were streaming on it last Friday. That quote-unquote all AMD gaming PC, that's actually my VR PC. For those that, it's my living room PC is what I mean. So I had the PlayStation VR 2 hooked up to it. We did a whole video on how to set that up last year. That's what I use for VR. And most of it is for like cardio. It's like Beat Saber and stuff that helps me exercise. That's really all it is. That's all I do with VR is just like Beat Saber. That's like the one game, man. Like Anakin Skywalker lightsabers, slashing it up to all kinds of custom tracks that I use AI to make. So that's what I use VR for. But yeah, that PC, the ASRock Nova with 9800X3D plus 9070 XT. That is my VR computer. I mean, the 4080 Super was in there. I don't know where that GPU is right now, but because I couldn't find the 4080 Super, it just kind of like disappeared. I'm using the 9070 XFX or 9070 XT from XFX. The one that I bought, I waited in line at a Micro Center in the morning in March to get. So that's my VR GPU, my VR PC. So yeah, I don't know if that's why people are asking me like, what do you think about this thing? I mean, I don't know because I already have a home living room VR PC. So I don't know if I need the Steam machine. That doesn't mean that it's bad. I think it's good. 16 gigabyte unified LPDDR5X. What is this using though? Is this using the AMD Z2 Extreme or is this using the like Kraken Point or it's Snapdragon. VR and non-VR can function as a standalone PC thanks to the 4nm Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 processor and Steam OS environment, equipped with 16 gigabyte unified LPDDR5X. Oh, that means this is probably running at like DDR5 8000 and 256 gigabyte 1 terabyte storage options. Okay. Oh, this is the VR headset. This is 2160p by 2160p. So this is like half 4K per eye. You know, I don't understand why they do the like 140, like 72 to 144 hertz. I get that 72 is half of 144, but still, like, why couldn't they have just done like the standard 120 hertz? The lens are custom pancake. The pancake lenses are supposedly good. I've never used a Meta 3 or Meta Quest 3, so I don't know how the pancake lens actually is. But I've heard that it's the way to go to prevent screen door effect and that kind of thing. And then what is this using? Zen 4. Semi-custom Zen 4 with 6 cores, 12 threads. So it has like a custom variant of an 8600G or a 7600X. 30 watt TDP. So it's like a mobile CPU. So this would be like a 7040 something or whatever, like the Zen 4, not Rembrandt, the one after it, Phoenix. It's using Phoenix. RDNA 3, the GPU is RDNA 3, features 28 compute units, maximum. Yeah, no, this is not going to be as fast as a 7600. It's 28 compute units. $32 compute units on 7600. This is a semi-custom. This is probably like a semi-custom mobile CPU. 110 watt GPU. Yeah, this is not gonna be this slow. It's gonna be slower than this. It has less compute units and it runs at a lower power. This thing is what, 165 watt TDP, and that's like 110. Yeah, no, this is not gonna be as powerful as a 7600. It's not a monster PC. In fact, even the the PS5 Pro is faster than this. That is true. PS5 Pro is 7700 XT. A lot more compute units. It said, yeah, it's gonna rely on like copious amounts of upscaling to achieve 4K 60 using FSR 3. I mean, it's basically a mobile platform turned into a gaming console. That's basically what it is. It's interesting, but I feel like if someone wanted to, as far as doesn't Steam still publish all the stuff needed to make a Steam box? I feel like if someone really wanted to get something like this, they could just build their own. You used to be able to build your own Steam box years ago, so I don't see why you wouldn't be able to do it now. You just load up this Arch-based distro with SteamOS 3 on it, and that's basically it. It just needs to have, the CPU needs to support the instruction set that the SteamOS uses, which is basically Linux, so it's x86, so it would work. Yeah, so you can just download the Steam Deck OS. If I was, I'll be honest with you guys. Like, I'm not gonna buy this. I would if I wanted to, I'd just build my own. That would be an interesting project. I wonder if I could do that right now. Oh, the problem is RAM. Actually, you don't need that much RAM. You only need a GPU. Basically a 7600, which I don't have anymore, but I have something similar, which is actually more powerful. So I could do that. And then I have more than double the amount of RAM necessary. I could do 48 gigabytes at 8,000, or I could do 32 gigabytes at 6,000. I don't have any 16 gigabyte though. The lowest amount of RAM I have is 32 gigabytes. Power supply is whatever. This is whatever. Oh man, the storage is a problem though. Storage. I don't have any storage, and the prices of SSDs are going up. They're going up. You could also just buy a mini PC and install SteamOS on it. Like, you could go and buy like a Strix Point mini PC, or not even that, like a Phoenix mini PC from like GMK Tech or something. It'll be interesting to see what framework launches next year. If they want to expand their desktop offering, like if they want to add more mini PC based things, like if they wanted to go with Intel's Arrow Lake like the Arrow Lake H series, which is basically like mini. It's a laptop CPU. Yeah, I mean, it's not as interesting as Strix Halo, but I think it's lower cost, and you could build something like this with that, or any of the AMD mobile platforms. Mobile platforms, I will say this, mobile has been a lot more interesting than desktop for the last 2 years. The only interesting thing for desktop processors that have come out is the X3D Zen 5, and even then, the only interesting thing about X3D for Zen 5 is that they put the 3D V cache underneath the cores and cache instead of on top of it with the 7000 series. So that's the only cool thing about desktop CPUs this generation. Unless you're someone who was like really interested in you know, full single clock cycle AVX 512, but that's more of like a developer thing to be interested in. And then mobile's where it's at, though. For real, like mobile is so interesting. If you are a tech enthusiast, oh my goodness, this year is not the year to be building a desktop unless you're building a Threadripper. This is the year to be either buying a mini PC or upgrading your laptop. For real, like this is the year, man. There's like so much good stuff in the mobile. Strix Halo, obvious reasons. Like if I was gonna do a hardware awards of the year, the winner of the year is Strix Halo. Ryzen AI Max is like the most innovative thing to come out in the x86 world, hands down. Nothing else comes close for this year. And then the rest of the mobile stuff, like Intel launched Arrow Lake H. Arrow Lake H is so much better than Raptor Lake laptops. Raptor Lake, hot, loud, terrible battery life, just god-awful experience for a laptop. Intel's been terrible with laptops since 11th gen. Tiger Lake was bad. Trust me, I know, because I have one. It's bad. Alder Lake was better, but still bad. Raptor Lake was worse, although it added more E-cores. And then Meteor Lake was they're trying to turn the ship around before it goes off the cliff. You know what I'm saying? So Meteor Lake was really good, significantly better than Raptor Lake. It didn't perform better than Raptor Lake, but at least you got more than 2 hours of battery life. If you were browsing the web, you know what I'm saying? So Meteor Lake was a step in the right direction. Fast forward to this year, Arrow Lake, man. Arrow Lake is so good for Intel. My goodness. Arrow Lake might have been a dud on desktop because it literally is a mobile design first product, which they adapted to desktop by just blasting power at it and then saying it's more energy efficient than Raptor Lake because it is. That's because it's TSMC based. But yeah, Arrow Lake, it's good, man. Intel has a really nice platform right now, but everybody's so like too focused on gaming. Oh, the gamers. It's the gamers. So it's like everyone just looks at AMD and is like, oh, AMD wins the benchmarks. I'm gonna build AMD. I'm gonna go buy AMD. You gotta get X3D, man. If you're gonna play games, you gotta get X3D. Certainly, if you're gonna play Monster Hunter Wilds, you better be on X3D. That's for sure. But because that's an unoptimized mess. But see, that's the problem, though. That's the key word: unoptimized mess. And anyone with an X3D doesn't have to worry if the game is an unoptimized mess, because the 3D cache will just magically mask and hide the problem. So it's like, oh, the game's, I don't know what you're talking about. The game runs fine for me. It's like when I'm playing Monster Hunter Wilds, I can do Omega Savage and I'm getting like 100 plus FPS. So it's like everything's fine. It's something on your end, man. But that's because I have X3D. That's the thing. It's not a stutterfest because of X3D. But if you look beyond that, Intel's Arrow Lake platform, and I've said this before, and the AMD fans, they're not going to like me saying this, but Intel has a an objectively better platform than AMD when it comes to like features. AMD has the best performance. No one is arguing that. Anyone who argues, anyone who tries to say that, oh, Intel is basically the same as AMD in game, anyone who's saying that are delusional or they're an Intel fanboy and they're literally giving themselves away. But Intel as a platform, the platform, oh my goodness, is the platform much better than the previous Intel platform. Z890 on desktop is light years ahead of Z790. It isn't even a fair fight. Z790 is so trash in comparison. It is toast. It's garbage. I mean, the whole thing with the CPUs dying and killing themselves with too much voltage, you know, that kind of thing. But Arrow Lake, none of those problems. TSMC doesn't have those stupid Intel vmin issues. So that will never manifest on a Core Ultra CPU. But people are like, oh, I'm afraid. I'm not going to touch it because I'm afraid. I'm just going to buy AMD and be safe. That's fine. Whatever. But the platform is good, man. The platform, like if you're someone who just looks at it from a checkmark thing, like you got to check the box. Like, you know, Intel's better than AMD in that regard. Thunderbolt 5, oh, check mark. We got it. We have the option. Check mark, Thunderbolt 5, USB 4 version 2. We technically got it on some of the platforms. So it's like they have that. Who has more PCIe lanes? Intel has more PCIe lanes. They have 4 more PCIe lanes on desktop versus AMD. So like Z890 versus X870. The funny thing is, the ironic thing, Z890 equals X670E, last gen AMD. But the new AMD has 4 less lanes than the previous one because of mandatory USB 4, which I agree with AMD. I think AMD should mandate USB 4, regardless of whether people are going to use it or not. It's a must. It's a must. They have to have USB 4. AMD understands where the market's going. So they're going to mandate you got to put USB 4. And then Intel mandated Thunderbolt 4 on Z890, which is equal to USB 4. So now they're at platform parity in that regard. But Intel offers optional Thunderbolt 5, aka USB 4 version 2. This is something that AMD doesn't have, giving Intel a competitive advantage in functionality and features for future-looking technology. Another example, CUDIM, clock redrive DDR5. AMD can't do that. You cannot run the clock redrivers on DDR5 clock CKDs, CUDIM, on a Ryzen platform. You can run it, but you're not going to benefit from the extra circuitry. Intel will benefit from the extra circuitry on Arrow Lake, on Z890. This also translates into the mobile platform. And in the mobile platform, CKD manifests as something known as CAM2. This is the reason why you see CAM2 modules in some laptops with Arrow Lake CPUs and Meteor Lake CPUs, but not on any of the AMD CPUs. Mobile, Ryzen, Strix Halo, Strix Point, Kraken Point, Fire Range, all that stuff. It's going to be SODIMM or soldered LP DDR5X because AMD did not design the memory controller's layout to handle CAM2 signaling. Now, the way that you guys can fact check me on this, go listen to Nirav Patel's discussion with Linus from Linus Tech Tips talking about the Framework desktop. That is the only like public facing information that goes into the reasons why AMD or why you don't see CAM2 on any Ryzen platform in the mobile space today. It's because it was never designed to use CAM2. You can't just automatically, like if you're Lenovo or Framework or someone making a laptop, you can't just magically, oh, we're just going to put CAM2 on our motherboard and just, oh, and it's just going to work. No. Framework got a dedicated engineer, what does it call it? A system architect to work directly with Frameworks engineers on trying to put Cam 2 on the Framework desktop with Strix Halo. And at the end of the day, it didn't work. He reveals in an interview that whether AMD wants the public to know this or not, he revealed the secret info. Like, he literally said that they worked hard with AMD's engineer, like a dedicated engineer from AMD, tried to help them get Cam 2 working with Strix Halo on the Framework desktop, and they couldn't get it working. Like, there was too many problems with signal integrity, signal reflections. We've covered this in our RAM overclocking videos for those that have tried to do 4 sticks of DDR5 high density. They know all about these topics because we've covered them on this channel. So they were talking about the signal integrity wasn't working. Like, it was sending it too fast. There was too much bandwidth, 256 gigabytes of memory bandwidth per second, that the Cam 2, the clock redriver, or something didn't work right, where they just weren't getting the performance that was needed to scale for the Cam 2 modules. So they ended up having to go with soldered LPDDR5X to overcome that problem. And that's the reason why Strix Halo is 100% only available with soldered DDR5. So it may have something to do with the sea of wires, and it's too much complexity with the traces to try to run like Cam 2 clock drivers at the endpoints on the other side of the memory controller. But I don't know. That's an engineering discussion. But yeah, I don't even know why I'm still live now talking about that. But anyway, guys, the Steam machine is interesting. I mean, I'm probably not going to get one. I use, for my home / the equivalent of this, what I use is a regular desktop with the PlayStation VR2 connected to it. And before the PlayStation VR2, I used to use the original Oculus Rift, which I still have. It's just PSVR 2 is a better headset. It's newer, higher resolution, etc. So that's what I use for VR. That's what I use as a living room PC. But yeah, I'm probably gonna pass on this. I don't know. Well, I'll be paying attention to it though, but I'm probably not going to get one. At least not anytime soon. Wild's beta still ran well for you on a 5700X. Not different from any other mini PC. Yeah, that's the thing, right? And there's so many mini PCs. And you know what? Up until this year, I had never paid attention to mini PCs. I only started paying attention to them because of Strix Halo. Like, I didn't even know there was this huge ecosystem of hardware manufacturers taking what is essentially laptop CPUs and throwing them in a desktop mini PC form factor. The headset is the best out of the PC hardware that Valve has there. I mean, it probably is. It looks a lot like the Meta Quest 3. I mean, Valve's Index is good, but it's just heavy. It's a heavy thing. This is definitely an improvement. I mean, I feel like Meta has the best system. For those that are wanting to get into VR, the easy option is the Meta Quest 3. I feel like that's going to remain the easiest option unless Steam does something really good with the price point on the Valve headset, but I don't expect this to be priced competitively with... I mean, I could be wrong. It looks kind of like a Meta Quest 3, so it might be priced similarly. But until we have pricing info, it's hard for me to say if this is worth, like, running out and getting immediately. You know, it's funny because it's like PlayStation... They talk about PlayStation 5 Pro. I mean, like, is this supposed to be a living room thing? Because most people that are familiar with Steam, and I'm pretty sure Valve already knows this, Most people that use Steam already have a gaming desktop. So why would they need this? And if someone has a console, like a PlayStation 5 Pro, for example, why would they want to get this if they already have the PlayStation 5 Pro? I feel like if they would want to get a Steam platform, they would build a PC, or they would get a gaming PC instead of this. I don't know. Like, to me, the sales pitch for this thing is kind of weird. It's like, who is this actually for? Is this for somebody who wants to put a Steam console in their living room, or is this for someone who wants to do VR? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of weird. I mean, there's different levels of VR. There's low-end VR, entry-level VR, all the way up to like the Super Pimax 8K flagship premium VR flight simulator. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's different levels of VR. This is totally not for the premium high-end VR people. SteamOS is made to run in big picture all the time, so it can work. That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I mean. Yeah, big picture mode. So it's like, is this is for someone who wants to put Steam in their living room? Couldn't they just, well, I mean, I don't know. You know, like if I wanted to run big picture mode on my living room PC, I would just turn on big picture mode on the desktop. Like, that makes this completely redundant and not necessary for someone who has that setup already. That's why I'm saying, like, who is the target demographic for this product? Because Steam has tried to market Steambox in the past, like a decade ago, and they were never successful with it. I mean, this reminds me when NVIDIA launched the NVIDIA Shield. The NVIDIA Shield was a big flop. Steambox was a big flop, although it was never really an official product. It was literally just, hey, here's our Linux distro. Go and load it on your own hardware, and now you have a gaming machine. You know what I'm saying? And we call it the Steambox. That was a thing like 10 years ago. I mean, it even says it right here. It even says it right there. I didn't even read the article. It's like, following the ill-fated adventure of the first iteration, which launched 10 years ago. See what I mean? Man, I knew it was like a decade ago. I knew it. Because I remember those days. That was the era where 1440p was on the horizon. People were starting to go to 1440p. Like, no one was on 4K back then. Like, there were 4K monitors, but no one was gaming at 4K. Like, there was no GPU that could handle 4K. Everyone was gaming on 1080p. Some people were still gaming at 1600 by 900p. And then 1080p was like the thing. Back then, the GPU that everyone had was something called the GTX 970 or the GTX 960 or the Radeon R9 Fury. The 980 Ti was the flagship. The Fury X was the other flagship. But most people had the 970. That's what I remember. 970, 960. 960 had 2 gigs of VRAM. There was a 4 gigabyte variant, but everyone got the 2 gigabyte. 970 had 3.5 plus 512 megabytes. And it was about $350, $370, somewhere in that range. And then the AMD card was the R9 290X or the R9 390 and 390X. Those were the GPUs back then. And VR was taking off a decade ago. The original Oculus Rift. I remember Oculus Rift and the original HTC Vive. Yeah, that was like late 2015, early 2016. PlayStation VR was end of 2016, so that's like 9 years ago. Yeah, man, VR has come full circle. It was here, it was like a thing, it died off. Only the people who were super into like flight simulators and stuff stuck with it. I guess Beat Saber. But Beat Saber went to like the Oculus, the Facebook stuff, became the Meta stuff. And then you had the Microsoft Flight Simulator people and the Racing Sim people. They went with like Pimax or whatever the super high-end stuff is. Those are the people that are buying like 5090s for VR. Completely different audience from what Steam Machine is targeting. But anyway, we might talk about this tomorrow. So Tech Thursdays, we're going to be talking about... we're probably going to talk about Thunderbolt again. Because there's a lot of stuff that I did not cover when we were talking about USB 4 version 2 and Thunderbolt 5. Tomorrow we're probably going to talk about we're going to do a deep dive on Thunderbolt and USB 4 and what you need to know, because this is something that's more of like future looking technology, because Thunderbolt 3, Thunderbolt 4 was 2017 through 2020 time frame, and it wasn't until the post-pandemic years that devices for Thunderbolt technology really started taking off. And with bandwidth requirements going up, file sizes becoming higher, requiring bigger SSDs, faster throughput devices, etc., all that stuff, that is going to make things like USB 4 and Thunderbolt become so much more relevant going forward. And when I look at that lag time, so the standards get finalized, they go to market in like 2017 through 2019. You don't see people actually, besides early adopters, you don't see mainstream audiences adopt the technology until like 3 to 5 years after that. So that would put us around like 2022 to 2024 time frame, basically like now. And now Thunderbolt 5 is out, sort of. It exists. You can buy a Thunderbolt 5 docking station. We did a video about that. We're going to do another video about that soon. But I feel like the PC enthusiasts are not really paying attention to this on a level that they should be. And with DRAM being super expensive, and it's just going to get more expensive over the next 6 months, and it's going to get harder to get, there's not a reason to upgrade a PC right now. Okay, unless you have no other choice, but buying used might be the better option for a while because of the way DRAM and NAND flash is going up in price. SSDs, I have watched SSDs climb in price $30 US this week alone. Just in this 1 week, SSD prices are up $30 on average globally for consumers. So that's the increased price that the consumer sees on average is $30. It could be more, it could be less, depending on the brand that you're looking at or whatever. And then DRAM, though, man, DDR5, oh, man. The price on DDR5 is getting worse and worse and worse. My memory kit is now going for $500. It is climbing. It continues to climb. I think it'll cap out around 700 or so. But, man, memory, if you're someone who wants 96 gigs, 128 gigs, 256 gigabytes of DDR5 is like $2,000 right now. It's not even funny. Like, that's not even funny. So that's why I'm saying, like, upgrading a PC is not going to be cost effective for a while, unfortunately. And you know what this means? This means the prices of GPUs is also going to go up because of DRAM. VRAM is basically RAM chips. So all memory, SK Hynix, Samsung, Micron, Ramexel, all of them, every single one of them is going to go up. They're going to have to deliver to the AI before they deliver to the regular consumers because they've already made the contracted deals. This is all public information, so then they can't back out of it. So you know what that means? You want DDR5 for your new computer? You got to pay way more money than the person who upgraded back in the summer. This is how it goes. And it's going to be like that well into next year. It might even be 2 years like this. So it's a return to the dark times. We're going back to 2021 in terms of hardware. GPUs are going to become more expensive. RAM is already more expensive, and it's going to still get more expensive. It's not stabilized yet, and then SSDs are going way up. So and that's going to cause hard drives to artificially go up too. Not as much, but hard drives are going to go up in price just because they know people are going to be desperate. So they're just going to upcharge. They're gonna scalp the prices, man. It's coming back. It's coming back. The DGX Spark has already been scalped up. It's all scalped. $4,000 DGX Spark. The price on that's probably gonna go up to like $5,000 or $5,500 because of the RAM. That thing comes with 128 gigs of RAM. It's gonna become more expensive. You have an extra? Why aren't you using it? You have an extra? Like, what? It's up to you. You could probably sell it and make a lot of money, but the thing is, you might need to keep it just in case. Like, I don't like to not have extra spare hardware ready to go as a backup. So if that's your spare, I would probably keep it. But yeah. Anyway, these are topics that we'll probably talk about again tomorrow on Tech Thursdays. But the main topic tomorrow is going to be Thunderbolt 3 through Thunderbolt 5. And that'll be like the main discussion, unless people want to discuss some other things like memory prices or holiday shopping. Honestly, the only thing that's going to be affordable this holiday season is probably, like, if you're looking for Black Friday deals for PC parts, it's probably going to be computer cases and some other peripherals, like maybe a mouse or keyboard or something. But I wouldn't expect those to be on sale just because those are electronic devices. Basically, the passive units, LED strips for RGB, cases, headphones, like monitors, maybe, I don't know. Like, there's gonna be very, very limited choices this holiday season on what to get on a good deal.
I went straight to 4K and never used 1440p. I was using 1080t Schlee back then.
You're using SLI for 4K in like what, 2017, 2018? I made the jump to 1440p in 2017. So I was on 1440p for like 5 years. And you think about it, 5 years is a long time. A lot can happen in 5 years. 5 years is half a decade. So I was on 1440 for 5 years, but it sounds like you've been on 4K for a long time then. How would you handle 4K gaming though? Back then there was no such thing as DLSS. 1080 Ti couldn't use DLSS. In fact, even now I don't think it can. It's stuck on FSR, and FSR didn't even come out until after DLSS. Those are all like, those are pandemic technologies. They weren't really a thing pre-pandemic, you know what I'm saying? Like DLSS, the first iteration of DLSS was terrible on the 20 series and no one used it. And they didn't really have to. But I guess anyone gaming on 4K kind of needed to use it. But I guess if you were playing at 4K, like a 1080 Ti SLI setup can probably handle a game like Final Fantasy XIV at 4K. I think it'd be close. It'd be right around like 60 to 70, maybe almost 80 FPS, maybe. Probably not with the new Dawn Trail. The graphics on 14 got harder, more demanding with this new expansion. But the previous build of the game, 1080 Ti SLI, can probably handle 4K for Final Fantasy XIV. Basically what I'm saying is, if you were playing like League of Legends, any kind of esports game, or WoW, or Final Fantasy, yeah, I'm pretty sure a 1080 Ti SLI can handle those type of games at 4K, but it definitely couldn't handle, you know, like Horizon Zero Dawn, Borderlands 3, Far Cry 5 might be too much for a 1080 Ti SLI at that resolution. You have 416 and 224. Oh, on 2PC. So technically, if you wanted to, you could run the 232s with your 224s. You'd have to put your 224s on channel A, and you put your 232s on channel B, and then you would have to clear CMOS and let them run at like 6,000 or whatever, 5,600 or something. And it might work. It'll probably take a while to memory train with that mixed setup. But we've done a live stream. We've shown running mixed memory configurations like that, and it works. It won't run very fast, though. The maximum you'll be able to do is either 5,600 or 6,000. But it would work. You definitely wouldn't be able to do like 8,000 or anything like that. But you could do that. You could put those other two memory sticks. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I misread that. You have 424. Never mind. I completely misread that. For some reason, I read 416 and 224. I don't even know why I saw two. You know why? Because I thought you were doing DDR5 8000. I thought you were doing 224 for 48 gigabytes at 8,000. That's why I thought that. For some reason, I saw 24 gigabyte, and I immediately assume, DDR5 8000. Oh, no. So you're basically doing the exact same thing that I'm doing. You're running the 424. 4x24 is like, I'm running, this computer is on 4x24. The Tech Thursdays computer is on 4x24. The Intel Arrow Lake that I've got right behind me, which I literally just put in a few days ago over here. It used to be in a different location. I have it available now because I'm working on a video for, well, we'll just leave it at that. So, yeah, all three of these PCs, I got 3 PCs right here. I got this computer that I'm on, my Tech Thursdays computer over there on the left, and then right behind me, right here on the floor, you can see it right behind me, that is the Arrow Lake Intel Core Ultra 9 285K. That is also running 4x24. And the cool thing about that one's running 4 QDIMMs. That one's got QDIMMs because Intel supports QDIMM on Arrow Lake. We did a whole video about that back in May or whenever I did that video. I am so glad I covered QDIMM earlier this year and not try to do it now. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, I wouldn't be able to get the RAM now. The RAM is just too expensive right now. QDIMMs are Cam2, QDIMM, all that stuff is so expensive right now. For 96 gigabytes. Yeah, so my history with DDR... Hold on, where is... Oh. So let's do this. What do I want to do here? Where is... Oh, there it is. So I was doing... So... X570... with 5800X, or I guess this computer, this is my old computer. So my old computer was 4x16. Total was 64 gigabyte DDR4, 3200. This was my old computer. This was my old computer that I was running before I decided to build this tech channel. Like back when it was just some random hobby channel with random gaming videos. So with no sense of direction, you know. So this is what I was using before, like before I somehow transformed into a tech enthusiast. Like I don't know how else to say it. Like that's what I had. I had that one computer, and that was my one computer. Well, okay, that's not true. I had my old Threadripper, you know. So I had that, and I had X399. I only had like these two computers though, like X399 plus 2950X, and this had 8 X16. Yes, 8 sticks of memory because this is quad channel, 2 DPC per channel. It was 128 gigabyte DDR4. The RAM itself was the exact same memory that I had in the 5800X computer, but however, because it's 8 sticks of RAM and it's Zen Plus, 2950X is not even Zen 2. It's Zen, it's like first generation Ryzen Threadripper. It couldn't do 3200 with that much RAM, so I had it stuck at 2933. That's the speed that it runs at, and that's what it's running at today. I still use it. This is my Ubuntu Linux computer today. Like, I still use this computer. So, yeah, those are my computers. That's what I was running. So just so you guys know, like, I'm someone who likes to max out the memory sticks. If my motherboard has 4 sticks of memory or 4 slots, I want to use all 4 slots. I do not like visually seeing those 2 empty sticks. Those 2 empty slots with nothing in them. That looks, to me, that's like, no, it looks lame. So I had to run 4 sticks, and I had to run on the Threadripper. This is an 8 DIMM motherboard. I'm like, we are filling all that up. So we put all that in there. So yeah, 64 gigabytes on Ryzen, 128 gigabytes on Threadripper. Like, this is my old computer. So I had this computer. This one was like 2018. This one is 2020 because 5800X was 2020. So those are my 2 machines. Like, obviously I had the older Ryzen. Like, I had the 1800X first gen. That was on an older motherboard, X370. But that got swapped for this, and then I had Threadripper for a while, for many years. I still use this computer. So I totally understand when people talk about Intel's HEDT. I was someone who always wanted an Intel. I always dreamed of having, first it was X79, or X58 actually. I always wanted an Intel X58. LGA 1366, man. Gulf Town. 6-core, 12-thread, triple channel DDR3. This was like my dream PC back in the day. This is what I always wanted back in the day. But Intel launched Z68 and then Z77, aka Sandy Bridge and Ivy Bridge, and basically cannibalized this platform. This platform became a joke overnight, especially for gaming. Like, no one would buy this for gaming. First of all, this is basically an Intel Threadripper. For those that don't know what this is, my dream PC years ago was an Intel Threadripper before Threadripper even existed. That's what I always wanted. Never got it. Instead, I ended up, it's like how I wanted I used to want a, that one car that Honda made, but I could never get it. That was like my dream car, and then when I learned to drive, then when I eventually got a car, it was never that car, but it was something similar. So this is basically what this represents. This represents what my dream PC, what I always wanted, but I couldn't get back in the day. And then finally, when I was able to get it, it was kind of like, go AMD, because AMD has the thing now. So that's how I ended up getting Threadripper, the first Threadripper. Back then, the games were still optimized for native res. Witcher 3. Yeah, Witcher 3 was like 2015, yeah. Or 2016. Was Witcher 3 2015? Maybe it was 20. It was 2015 or 2016. It was like March of one of those 2 years. Can't remember anymore. Anyway, those are like my computers before I started building this tech channel. Then, what the tech channel, I guess this is kind of like history of this tech channel. The Game Tech Reviews channel really started with the launch of Zen 4. It was really when I got my X670E with what was that, 7950X. This was the platform, and then I was like, you know what, we got to go get Intel too. So like a month later, Was it like a month later? It was like less than a month. It was like a few weeks later. I was like, yeah, we need to get this one too. Just because. I mean, I even say it in the video. Because I did the PC build video with Z790 plus 13900K. And from this point in time, AMD and Intel were so similar that you could never tell the difference between the two of them in a blind comparison. Especially with productivity things. Like, they were basically identical platforms. This one used more electricity, and it had a little bit better single-thread performance as a result. But, you know, they were, for all intents and purposes, multi-thread. They were basically the same. Intel can blast power and get their single-thread up as a result of that. AMD had challenges getting single-thread beyond a certain point. I mean, they were both clocking the CPUs very high, way higher than what was available in the previous generations. So these were kind of like my PCs for a while. Like this one is what became the Tech Thursdays live stream computer. And this is the computer that I was using for my own use, which eventually got replaced by the new Threadripper. But that's what I was using. So these are my two computers during that time. But the whole point of me telling you guys is the memory, right? So we're talking about RAM earlier. So my RAM setup on this guy was... initially, it was 2x32 DDR5 5600. And then Intel was the exact same setup. It was 2x32 DDR5 5600. So I was running that kit of memory, those G-Skill Ripjaws XMP 5600 on both of them. And it took some BIOS updates. Intel was more like cut and dry, like you don't have to mess with it. The AMD one, man, in the early days, because this was a new socket, every time AMD changes sockets, you're in for a roller coaster ride. At least it was like that with AM4, and it was also like that for AM5. Meaning, when AMD launches a new platform, this is 100% true for AM4. This is also mostly true for AM5. But AM5, I would say, was probably overall a smoother launch. But there were still a lot of weird things with memory. In particular, memory training, S3 sleep not working properly with DDR memory speeds above 5200, 5400, which affected 5600, interestingly enough, because I experienced that wake from sleep issue. And then there was the whole thing like, oh, disable memory context restore. But I found that if you're running memory that's like within AMD's rated spec of no faster than 5200, now sleep works, and now you can turn on MCR and everything just works. So I was like, you know what? All those people saying DDR5 6000, those people can go ahead and get lost because they're spouting nonsense. And if you run DDR5 5200, you never experience any of the problems. And you go look at AMD's support page, and what is the maximum supported speed for 2 sticks of memory? Oh, 5200. Maybe that explains why I'm having 0 problems. So for me, the first like 4 to 6 months of running this setup, I was on DDR5 5200, man. Like, and I was having no problems. Everyone else, you go look at like Reddit, and people are like, my computer blue screens after waking from sleep, or I can't put my computer to sleep. The BIOS or the Windows says that the firmware doesn't support S3 and all this stuff. And it's like, oh, change it to 5200. All of a sudden it says you can support it. So basically, the bottom line is 13900K ended up being more commercially successful than 7950X for multiple reasons. One of the reasons was it was the chart topper in gaming. It beat the 7950X in gaming. And that's like, okay, that right there is like, okay, well, that means Intel's gonna basically have the lion's share. But besides that, AMD, the new socket had all kinds of like it needed so many BIOS updates, man. Like kind of like Arrow Lake. Arrow Lake last year, Intel, when Intel changed sockets, oh man, it had a lot of problems too. I remember Alder Lake had problems. eCorp, anti-cheat, flagging your eCores, saying that you're hacking. You know, like, anytime someone changes sockets, you're a beta tester for them. You know, like 12 gen was like that. 7000 series Ryzen was totally like that. So this was definitely this one ran really hot and was harder to cool, and it used more power, but it was a more mature platform because 12th gen ironed out all the beta tester issues. You know what I'm saying? So 13900K was a pretty good platform. It was not efficient. That's like its one Achilles heel, but this was a decent setup to have when it was new. Just saying. So I didn't like how much heat it generated. I didn't like how my air cooler couldn't really handle it. I mean, you guys have seen me stream 1300K with Monster Hunter, and you can see my Noctua D14 gets up to 100 degrees Celsius while gaming with the CPU. So I didn't like that about it. And you run Cinebench R23 with an air cooler, and it instantly thermal throttles within 2 to 3 seconds of the benchmark. So those are things that I really didn't like about it. But besides multi-thread workloads and terrible power consumption, like, it was a good performer. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was a good performer. It was competitive. So this was probably Intel's last, like, truly competitive CPU with AMD, because after this, AMD rolled out X3D on Zen 4 and then Zen 5, and that kind of solidified AMD's spot as the gaming king for a good 2 generations now. Honda NSX. No. It was called Honda Integra. Globally, it was Honda Integra. I think in North America, it was called the Acura RSX was the car. If that's you're talking about the car that my dream car a long time ago. Like, that was before I could even drive. Like, I was too young to drive. But that's the car I always wanted, is what I'm saying. Just like with the Intel thing. Like, LGA 1366 X58. This was the platform that I always wanted, but I couldn't. I was too young, man. Like, I couldn't afford buying something like that back then. So, you know, that's why. So fast forward years later, and I ended up getting Threadripper for that reason. I mean, I could have easily gotten Intel, whatever Intel's equivalent to Threadripper. It was the X299. I could have gotten Skylake X299, but I ended up getting Threadripper instead. And it paid off because this platform has stayed good. Like, this platform can do everything except, like, Microsoft doesn't officially support Windows 11. So you can't, I mean, you can work around that with Rufus and stuff, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not officially supported, so it's like, that automatically relegates my Threadripper, my old Threadripper, to Linux. So that's why it's the Linux computer. Still, though, for Linux, this is no joke, man. 128 gigs of RAM on a 16-core, 32-thread. That's pretty good. The computer that I need to figure out what to do with is this one, though. This one is literally a motherboard sitting right to the left of me on the desk here. Yeah, my Z790 motherboard is literally right here on the desk. It's like an open test bench right here. And it's funny because I was using this to clone and back up SSDs and then move them into other machines. So it's like I have it on my desk as literally an open test bench. It's literally a motherboard just sitting on the desk. It's not mounted to anything. It's just a motherboard with a power supply connected to it. Just laying on the desk. I mean, for those of you who watch Tech Thursdays and you saw me when we did the memory overclocking demonstration stuff, that's exactly how I have my 13900K system right now. It's just a motherboard with an air cooler. It's got a deep cool. I forget the deep cool 620 or whatever, the air cooler that looks like the Noctua, and then it just has a power supply connected to it. It's just a random. It's just sitting there on the desk, man. It has the little. It's got this thing. I'll unplug it. It's got this guy. It's got the beep speaker because I gotta have the beeps, man. If I'm booting this thing up, I gotta know what's going on. But yeah, these platforms were the platforms where Thunderbolt 4 started really taking off. It was optional. But this is what I mean. With the previous generation, Thunderbolt 4, aka USB 4. We'll say USB 4 optional feature for X670 and B650. And Thunderbolt 4 optional on Intel's Z790. You fast forward to the latest and greatest, it's now mandatory on both of them. Meaning, if you go and you buy an X870E motherboard, you automatically get USB 4. Whether you want it or not, you're going to be forced to purchase USB 4 functionality. Likewise, if you buy a Z890 motherboard for Arrow Lake, you are mandatory, you are forced to pay for that Thunderbolt 4 functionality. Whether you want to or not, you're going to get that feature. And I feel like people are overlooking these features. And I just want to keep drawing attention to these things until people realize, whoa, this stuff is true enthusiast technology, because there's things that you can do with USB 4 and Thunderbolt that you just straight up can't do with a regular USB-C because of bandwidth. It's all bandwidth. And Thunderbolt 5, so there is something called Oculink, which I have never really talked about. Oculink. This is another thing that we have never discussed on this channel. But it's not that I don't know about it. I know exactly what it is. This is actually optical copper link. I don't know. Okay, this is turning into a Tech Thursdays episode, so we're gonna we'll stop here. But yeah, maybe we'll talk about Oculink tomorrow if you guys want to discuss Oculink. I don't plan on talking about Oculink, but I do plan on talking about Thunderbolt and USB 4 again. It's basically gonna be a part 2 to the stream that we did, I want to say 3 weeks ago. Last week we talked about RAM prices going up and holiday what to actually buy, and then the previous week was Nvidia, all about Nvidia and AI, and then the week before that was the motherboards. So actually it would have been 4 weeks ago was Thunderbolt. So yeah, it's been almost a month since I last talked about Thunderbolt, so it'll be like a part 2 to that. So if you're interested in learning more about USB 4 and Thunderbolt 4, definitely tune into Tech Thursdays tomorrow, because that's going to be the main subject of tomorrow's discussion. Other than talking about hardware prices are going to become more expensive, DRAM, flash memory, so like store SSDs that might bleed over into hard drives slightly, and anything with memory chips like video cards, graphics cards, are going to get more expensive or maybe harder to get due to supply shortages, due to lead times. So anyway, that's what we're going to talk about tomorrow. Anyway, this was supposed to be State of Play, or my reaction to State of Play Japan. And we're way over, guys. So I'm just going to go ahead and end the stream here. Thank you all for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow on Tech Thursdays. If you're new to this and you just randomly wandered into this stream and you're wondering, like, what is this all about? We do a live stream show every Thursdays called Tech Thursdays, as the name implies. And sometimes I do other streams that are kind of off the wall, like this one, for instance, or maybe a weekend streaming that's more gaming focused as opposed to PC hardware based. But if you're interested in the technology, you're interested in building your own PC, or you just like the subject matter being talked about, like you just want to geek out or nerd out over computer hardware with us, that's pretty much what this community does. But we do that every Tech Thursdays or every Thursdays. So join us on Tech Thursdays. And if you have a question that you want answered, go ahead and ask it during the show, and I'll answer it live. Until then, take care, guys, and I'll see you then. Thanks.